Well, like I say, I'm really, really I know we're talking about this movie, The Bay, but I'm really proud of this performance in it. It was it was just an awesome chance to get to work with a legend like Barry Levinson. So I'm really proud of that performance. And when y'all see the movie, there's a scene that I'm in that is really. I don't want to ruin the movie, but it's craziness, y'all. Be sure and support. But,
there you go.
I also got to do a movie called Soul Men with Bernie Mac and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
and
Bernie Mac.
And that was a great opportunity for me, just because. Well, first of all, because it was Bernie Mac's last movie, so that he did before he passed. And he was just the sweetest, kindest man ever. And I always like to, like I say, when I go on set, I'm focused on several different things. Obviously, my performance, but then I just look at the other. I'm studying all the time. I'm looking at the other actors and how they're handling themselves and just kind of their countenance. And I just learn from watching them and talking to them, and they'll share their stories, and it's just really a cool learning experience. And so that film was a great learning experience for me. I also did another movie called My Future Boyfriend. It was an ABC family movie, but they had Valerie Bertinelli. I don't know if you remember her. She was
oh yes, I love her.
How do we not remember her? Love her, long-time fan.
All right, so she had a TV series called Valerie back in the day, or something like that. I remember watching it when I was a little kid. But what was awesome is just like in between takes, there were 5 or 6 actors sitting around. We're just all sitting in our chairs, and it's just story time. And that's the stuff that I remember the most, The acting was awesome. But she's just telling stories about going to Academy Award dinners with Christopher Walken and just awesome stuff. The stories and the things that you get are priceless. And that's the stuff that, unfortunately, a lot of y'all don't get to see.
Right, and I'd love to just sit on a movie set one day with all these actors that have been around forever and sit and listen to their stories, because I know I would never want to leave. I would make them keep talking.
That's for sure.
So I can definitely understand
there's the highs and there's the highs and the lows of the business. I did. And they happen in a matter of seconds, just so you know.
Right.
I did a movie called A Year Without a Santa Claus, and it had John Goodman in it. It had do y'all remember Delta Burke? She was Designing Women. Okay, she was on it. She was a sweetheart. Just again, this is one of those times where she's sitting around telling all kinds of stories. But the reason I was telling you how things change within a matter of moments. I remember we were shooting a scene. I know they were shooting a scene about to come to my scene, and the director came out and basically said, "We're not going to have time to shoot your scene." And so I'm just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like there were already some stuff that I'd shot, but this was a really cool one-on-one scene with Delta Burke. He's like, "Yeah, we're not going to be able to do it." So immediately, what do you say? I'm just kind of like, "Oh, okay."
Right. Yeah.
Thanks. All right. So I'm down in the pits, right?
Yep.
And then, like 20 minutes later, they come back and like, "Jody, we're ready for you to do your scene." So I'm back up on cloud 9. So we actually shot the scene, and it turned out to be one of the coolest scenes in the whole movie. But,
it's a good thing you didn't leave.
It's true. What was cool about that film is first of all, my daughter. I have a little 5-year-old daughter. She thinks that I'm a real elf. I played an elf in that movie, and got to handle the reindeer and stuff. So she thinks that I work for Santa. So it's pretty
so
awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
I also have my 5. I guess my niece was 3 or 4 at the time, and she got to come out. I think we shot that one in Louisiana somewhere, and she got to come out and there's not many uncles that can deliver Santa Claus and the North Pole and reindeer, but I did. I was like, here it is. I got the North Pole for you. And so I remember a couple of years ago, I said, hey, you remember when I took you to see Santa and the reindeer and North Pole? She has no recollection of it, and it broke my heart. So I was like, come on,
but you have to remember you made her happy at that time too. So that was a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. So
now, what's the best advice another actor or somebody in the field gave you when you were first starting out?
Best advice. You know what? I'm getting best advice still.
Are you?
Yeah, I still get best advice. The last film I did, I got awesome advice from an actor who was I can't remember his name, but he's been in a lot of stuff. He said the following, and this is for actors also who are just starting out. I always tell actors, don't, if they're trying to do film acting, that is, I tell them not to move to L.A. immediately. I tell them to try and become a big fish in a small pond. So wherever they're at, if there's any film or find out what city is actually shooting something and try and get your name out in that town. So Seattle, for instance, has a good market. Atlanta, where I'm at, is a very hot market. Louisiana, all over the state, hot market. Wilmington, hot market. So there's all these pockets all over the country where people can go and actually make a name for themselves before they take the step to move out to L.A. Now, the advice I got was this actor said that basically you don't want to move to L.A., and this rides on what I just told you. He said you don't want to move to L.A. until you're invited to the party. So basically you don't want to go crashing the party, he said. And that's everyone who moves out there and tries to get an agent without having had any parts under their belt. So you want to create a name for yourself where you're at. You want to get some heat going on you, and then they'll come sending the invitations to you.
Wow, that's good advice.
Wow, that is great advice.
I mean, because
you ladies can start your acting career right now.
Yeah.
Well, too, I think it probably helps to keep, an aspiring actor, actress, in the whole thing in proper perspective, where it's okay, not to bite off more than you can chew, so to speak. And I think it is, a step-by-step process. So that's great advice, very great advice.
Yeah, definitely. It's something. Yeah, it's a slow climb, but there's some actors who make it in a week, and then there's some actors who basically have a slow climb. But for most actors, when someone says, "Wow, that person is an overnight success," they didn't see the 15 years that actor spent to get to be an overnight success.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So no one's really an overnight success.
Now, are you musically inclined at all? Do you sing or play an instrument?
I play guitar a little bit and sing a little bit, write my own songs a little bit. Actually, when I go and do stand-up, a lot of times I have some goofier kind of comical songs that I sing. So, yeah, a little bit musically inclined.
Anything we can find on YouTube? I would love to see that.
Definitely do not have anything on YouTube. I really don't know if I want to tell about my other project. I have a comedy album on iTunes that if you wanted to pick it up, it's just possibly one of the craziest things ever. So a lot of experimental, crazy, comical songs of every different variety. But that's on iTunes, and it's called Willow Wheat Knot.
Willow Wheat Knot?
Willow Wheat Knot. Okay.
That's it. And obviously Jody Thompson, Willow Wheat Knot. And it is, I'm not proud of it at all. So be sure and check it out.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, we're getting to the end of our interview, and I want to ask you to describe yourself in 3 words.
Man, everything's in threes on this show.
All right, I'll give you 5. You can do 5 words.
Okay. Myself in 3 words. All right, this is cheesy. Are you ready for the cheese?
I'm ready. I got my cracker.
Okay, so, but when I say this, I need both of you in unison to go, oh, okay.
Okay,
ready?
Okay, we're ready.
Myself in 3 words would be daddy, husband, actor.
Aww.
Thank you.
That's so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care of the wait staff. If you do drink, please don't drive. God bless.
But you put them in the right order, and I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
I was debating on putting acting first. I really was. So.
And you know that would have came back and bit you, right?
Oh, definitely. I'll make sure my wife doesn't hear this. But she has to hear this, see? Because I support, just like everyone out there who's listening is going to support and watch The Bay.
Yes.
Came out November 2nd. You guys check it out. Be sure to.
Oh, we will. And you know what? Once Dawn and I see it, we're going to tweet you, and we're going to let you know it. How's that?
Fantastic. Look forward to that
perfect.
tweet.
Anybody that wants
to,
I was going to say anybody that wants to follow you, go ahead and give your Twitter name out.
Yeah, definitely. It is at Jody, Jody, T as in the first letter of my last name, Thompson, and then Flo, F-L-O, the waitress on Alice. That is correct.
Oh, I loved her.
Y'all, well, you can kiss my grits. Well, you can kiss my grits.
There you go.
See, that's the banjo. Perfect. She was the original banjo. She was the original banjo.
Yes, she was.
She was good. She was so funny. I love that show. There I go dating myself again. No, not really. I watch reruns from, on DVD or something. Nick
You're 18, right?
Yeah. My mom told me about these things.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
there you go.
So that is at Jody T. Flo. Would love for you to follow me.
Yes, please follow, and once you see the movie, let them know what you thought of it, and even if you were terrified and it takes you a little bit of time to get on there, go on, let them know. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear it. He did his job well done.
Sounds great. Well,
and
thank you so much, Pam.
And I was going to say, thank you very much for joining us. It was a blast, and we'd love to have you back again in the near future. When you have something new coming up, just give us a holler.
That sounds great. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Dawn. You guys take care, okay?
Thank you so much.
You
Take
too.
care, Jody.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I have to say that was one of the funniest interviews we've done recently, with us being brand new. It was